What's up, everyone? Welcome to Bench. We are the Tovar brothers. Joey here. Angel, what's up?
What's up?
Back in the backyard, San Diego. Our last morning in San Diego for this trip, anyway. Heading home right after this, back to LA, back to the hopefully soon-to-be finished studio, and home, our own beds, our own couches, our own TVs,
yes,
our own comforts, all that good stuff. This is episode number 38, Wednesday, October 11th.
Hump day.
And we're getting ready here to dive into week 6, which is kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah, it's always like football, like every the same way. Like we're already week 6.
The honeymoon season, the honeymoon period. What's the phrase?
It's too early for me to think about that.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying. That time is over for the NFL season, and we're in the thick of it now. Bye weeks are coming up. Injuries on injuries on injuries.
You kind of know who's real and who isn't.
Yep, already some coaching hot seats. Yeah. Some people losing their jobs. Some teams that are already pretty much out of it.
Yep.
A lot going on already in the season. In today's episode, we'll get into the news, and then Angels Heavenly Top 10 version 6.0. Very excited about that. And then finish off with a little Thursday night preview as the Broncos will be offered to the Chiefs as a sacrifice to Taylor Swift and her cult.
That's not even a lie. It's going to be ugly.
If you're watching on YouTube, thanks so much for following us and following us through whatever location we're at. Just putting the show together. No problem.
Yeah.
I appreciate you. Go ahead and like and subscribe to this video and this channel. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, thank you so much. Or wherever you listen to your podcast, thank you for listening. And the faithful downloaders, right?
Yeah.
The faithful
bench warmers.
Thanks so much for listening there. Leave a review if you can. And then follow the show between the show on Instagram, X, and TikTok. Search at Benched Show to follow along there. So let's get into some news here because there's a lot going on.
A lot of injuries too. It kind of sucks.
Starting here, let's start with some injuries because we covered the injuries last show, but now the fallout. Some people being put on IR because of those injuries. James Conner, Cardinals running back, placed on IR. He'll miss the next 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I still can't pronounce the name of his backup or remember. It's not that hard to pronounce it.
But
to remember.
James Conner, one of the underrated players in the NFL, never gets his flowers, but has been successful wherever he's gone. And on paper, a very bad Cardinals team, still produces. Sucks that he's got hurt, but
yeah, it has to be that physical of a player and play on a team that bad.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't. Nothing really to show for all that physical abuse you take.
Yeah.
So James Conner, we won't see him for at least a month. Tough news this morning out of Colts camp. AR-15. I'll read the text and we'll talk about it. Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson is now expected to miss 4 to 8 weeks, depending on his rehab and whether he is still. Depending on his rehab and whether or not he still would need surgery on his right shoulder, per source. By placing him on IR today, the Colts are giving him the time so nothing can and has to be rushed. Richardson's going to be out for a while.
It sounds like it's more of like let's see if it heals naturally. If it doesn't, we'll go in for surgery. But
yeah,
this just sucks. And we talked about this on Monday's show. Like, you got to change your play style, man. Like, this. So say he misses, let's call it 6 games.
Yeah.
That's a total of 7 games in his first season. This isn't good for your longevity. And he's so good, you just hate to see it.
Yeah, when he's on the field, he's looked really good.
Yeah.
He hasn't looked like a guy who's barely played any football.
Yeah.
He looks like a guy who's really comfortable. As the quarterback of an NFL team already at this stage of his career, it's just, these hits are already just taking a massive toll on his body.
Yep.
And you said he's not going to last like this, and he's not.
He's not.
So hopefully he gets better here soon. They patch him up, and we just protect him more soon. Maybe less running.
Or just be smart about your running or when you need to run.
Right. So that sucks. We won't see him for a while. Gardner Minshew taking over there. Right as Jonathan Taylor comes back. So interesting what that team is going through. Moving on here, the rookie running back that has been a phenom for the Miami Dolphins, Devin Achane.
It's Achane.
Achane.
I think.
Sure. Devin Achane now expected to miss multiple weeks with a knee injury and be a candidate for the injured reserve. I believe he was placed on the injured reserve.
Yeah, he was.
And so he had burst onto the scene. He had gotten rid of any Jonathan Taylor talk to Miami.
Yeah.
He was just taking over. Him and Mostert were the best 1-2 punch in football, really, for the first part of the season. And now he's going to be out for a while.
Yeah, high yards per carry for him, but they're getting Jeff Wilson. I know it's not, maybe it won't be the same, but young promising rookie running back is so cool to follow. So I hope he comes back healthy.
Yeah, I know he's not the biggest guy.
Yeah.
So
But that boy's fast.
There'll be questions about his durability for sure going forward.
Yeah.
There already was. So we'll see. Sucks to see him gone, but I think the Dolphins just keep on scoring.
I think they'll be fine.
This one is really new to all of us because we never see this guy hurt. Vikings wide receiver, all-world wide receiver, Justin Jefferson, has been placed or will be placed on the injury reserve because of a hamstring injury he faced. A hamstring injury he suffered on Sunday's loss to Kansas City. The exact timeline is to be determined based on how he responds to treatment, but Jefferson out for at least 4 games.
He's been the best wideout since he's entered the league, right? Like, there's no doubt.
I mean, pretty much. I mean, Tyreek's been pretty good.
Yeah.
And then you've had guys flash. Devontae Adams has been the best for 1 year. And a lot of people have stuff to say about Jamar Chase. But most consistently the best, I think Josh Jefferson would be the guy.
I hope this isn't the start of injuries. I think it's just everyone has a hammy. But,
the hamstring, yeah.
But, like, phenomenal player, exciting. I mean, one of the faces of football. I hope he comes back healthy, and hope he comes back when he's ready. They're 1-4 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So let's not rush him back. There's no need. There's no hurry. What are you rushing back for?
Yeah, he should step on the field until he is completely healthy.
And then inside a contract.
Maybe even another week past healthy.
Yeah.
I don't think that. I think the contract probably have to wait till the offseason. I don't think they're going to sign it this year, and I think he's going to get it whether he...
No, I'm saying because he hasn't signed it, be more cautious because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it with the injuries. Some other news going on here. Rookie C.J. Stroud is eyeing his next record. Texans rookie quarterback already broke the record for most consecutive pass attempts to start a career without an interception. Now he's closing in on the overall record for consecutive attempts by a rookie. Kyler Murray set this mark at 211. Right now, Stroud is at 186. He can break it this weekend. Think he's going to break it this weekend?
Yeah. It's getting to the point where, like, he'll break the records. I'm not down.
It's cool to see him just start knocking these down already.
And it's cool to see another good quarterback in the AFC, or just in the league in general. Like, It's always good to have quarterbacks, especially for a team like the Texans that had no hope last year or the year prior. I love this kid.
Jets looking for O-line help. The Jets worked out former Bengals and Cowboys starting tackle Lel Collins. He'll also work out for the New York Giants. So he's making his New York tour there to a couple teams that are struggling. Who could use him more, the Giants or the Jets?
The Giants. That line is terrible.
Yeah.
But I would play for the Jets.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just stick around. I don't know this guy. It must be an attitude problem for this guy. He's always been talented.
Yeah, at one point, one of the best tackles in the game.
I don't know what happened to this kid.
Obviously, didn't work out with the Cowboys. Had a falling out with the Bengals, and he's supposed to be healthy and ready to go. So maybe he finds a home here in New York.
Yeah, put him in a strong locker room like the Jets locker room.
Yeah,
that should help him out. Hopefully.
There's a small trade. I don't know. Van Jefferson traded from the Rams to the Falcons. It was reported that they were looking to trade him, and literally like an hour later they traded him. Yeah. So they were really looking forward to getting rid of Van Jefferson. I think this has more to say about what the Rams have assembled there in the wide receiver room. Quite the group.
Quite an elite group. You have Cooper Kupp. You have the phenom, Puka Nacua.
Yeah.
And then you have Tutu Atwell, and Higbee kind of pick up the rest of the pieces.
Cooper Kupp looked right back to where he was. He looked very good. Him and Stafford still on the same page.
Yep.
Almost like they have a walkie-talkie in their helmet. They know exactly what each other's going to do. Puka Nacua has kind of proved to be a better version of Robert Woods in this offense. Mm-hmm. So that's been kind of fun to watch. And then Tutu Atwell gives them an element that neither of Cooper Kupp or Puka give them in the speed.
Yeah, and he's been marked as a bust for the last couple of years. So
it's
good to see him be productive, and good for Stafford and this whole Rams team. Like, no one thought they'd be good. They're good. I know they lost to the Eagles, but they're the Eagles. But this team's going to be in the playoff hunt, no doubt. They're going to be in a playoff game, I'm sure. So
they're supposed to be one of the worst teams in the NFL.
Screw that, yeah.
From that to go to the team that has probably played the Niners the hardest.
Yeah.
And is not an easy win. A tough win.
Yeah, you're an Eagle fan and you know firsthand. They're not a bad team.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The Browns are, they could be going into another game without Deshaun Watson,
Yeah.
the guaranteed money man. But they're not going to sacrifice DTR anymore.
No.
They've announced, or Stainbrook NFL, not sure that is, but his sources have told him that Browns will start veteran P.J. Walker over DTR against the 49ers if Deshaun Watson can't play. In his first game, DTR started for the injured Watson, and he lost 28-3 to the Ravens, 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and looked even worse than that.
Yeah.
It just wasn't fair to the kid.
No, don't put him in that kind of situation. And now don't put him against the Niners. That's the best team in football, or one of the best teams in football. I'm a UCLA fan, so I love this kid like already, but don't do that to him this early. He's not ready for that.
Okay, 2 more things to talk about. First thing is Jerry Jones.
What?
Jerry Jones
Jerry?
Has on his weekly hit on 1053 The Fan, I guess some local radio station, he says Dak Prescott is a quarterback who can get us to the Super Bowl, and that's the way it's going to be.
That's the way it's going to be, Joey.
And
okay?
then he said, let me be very affirmative. I completely believe we have the quarterback to take us to where we want to go.
Joey, just believe it because Jerry Jones said it. Joey.
When the GM is on the radio, especially Jerry Jones, giving you his vote of confidence, I believe that's the beginning of the end.
That's the kiss of death.
Yeah, that's not good that the GM has to do that. And Dak, once again, went into a big game against a big-time team and wet the bed. They scored 10 points.
You ever seen the movies where they set up a character, they give him like a monologue, and then they kill him the next scene? Kind of the same thing. He went up to the Lions' den in the Niners. He got worked. He looked terrible, too. He looked as bad as I've seen him in a long time.
Yeah, and I feel like we're always making, and I'm guilty of this too, always making excuses for Dak. He doesn't have enough weapons. The O-line isn't healthy.
Yeah.
Play callers are different. There's always something we're giving him an excuse for, but good God, my guy. You had your full offensive line. You have you have a good weapon. Like
some people don't have those kind of weapons. Yeah,
you have Pollard and CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
Just that is better than most teams.
Yeah.
And then you had a defense that was supposed to be a championship caliber defense, and maybe it is still, but they gave up 42 to the Niners and looked really bad while doing it.
Yeah.
If they don't get it done this year, I mean, you have to make changes.
Next year, you can't get off his deal. It's too much dead money. But you traded for this really talented guy out of San Francisco, Trey Lance. If it goes the same way it always goes for the Cowboys when they don't win the playoffs, I'm there coming out saying it's the open competition. Yeah. It's Lance versus Dak Prescott. I don't know if I don't want either at this point.
I don't think Dak's. I don't know. I just don't think Dak's going to go anywhere. So I think once Jerry Jones pays someone, he lets that ride out. Look how bad Zeke was.
Here's the problem with Dak. Same with Russell Wilson and all these other quarterbacks in the same realm. They're not the problem, but they're not the answer.
Yeah.
So, you're going to have good times and bad times, and you're going to be like, what's the problem? And the only consistent thing is that quarterback, and it's Dak. So, I mean, they've always been talented. I'm just tired of the Dak experiment. Let's move on.
Yeah, I think we have 2 more years of it, and then Jerry Jones will let him walk.
Yeah.
But once he pays someone, he just rides with them.
Because that's where his money is, yeah.
So I think Dak will be the guy there, and I think coaching will be the thing that goes before Dak. I think Big Mike might be looking at chopping block here soon.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry, Mike.
Yeah, if you can't win the big game, then he's going to go get either, that was a big B.
Yeah. Hard stop a little bit.
Yeah, he might go just get the young. He needs to go get the young hot coordinator.
But Jerry.
Coach, he always gets the old guy.
Jerry wants someone who he could control, though.
That's the problem there.
Yeah, so, I mean, if you could find the guy who's like that, but controllable for Jerry, maybe it'll work, but...
Isn't it sad that Jerry Jones could never work with Kyle Shanahan? Because Kyle Shanahan wouldn't have it. But yeah, Kyle Shanahan is one of the best. You should be able to work with Kyle Shanahan.
He wouldn't be able to work with
He's one of the best coaches
Mike
in the NFL.
McDaniel, who's just on his own plane.
That's not okay.
Yeah.
That you have to go get Mike McCarthy. And who they have before? Jason Garrett. You have to have those guys.
These coaches are why are you a coach?
They'll fall in line, type thing.
Yeah.
That's rough. Is Jerry the problem in Dallas? A question that a lot of people have been asking.
Since 1988 or 1987.
Good luck, Dak. Moving on here, and this is the one I want to finish with because I want to talk about this for a second. Are the Vikings planning on trading Kirk Cousins? The Vikings worked out Colt McCoy
Okay.
Okay, so I don't want to dive into that too much because Colt McCoy was a bad quarterback last year, and I assume he's even worse this year. But many are taking it as a possible indication that they are very serious about moving on from Kirk Cousins. He does have a no trade clause, which is another element of this, which means he would, if they did want to move him, and if they got there together, management and him, he would choose where he wants to go. It would be a contender. It would be somewhere he wants his family to live. That's obviously very important to Kirk Cousins. And we'll see. The Jets and Falcons are named as favorites so far, but who knows?
Where would you want to see him?
Football-wise, I want to see him with the Jets.
Yeah.
They're immediately a Super Bowl contender again.
Yeah.
But long-term wise, I'd like to see him in Pittsburgh. I'd like to see him in...
Pittsburgh would be nice, yeah.
Yeah, Pittsburgh I think is a good fit for Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Just kind of who he is. Him and Mike Tomlin, I think, would really get along.
Would you send back, in that deal, this deal for Pittsburgh, would you send back Pickett, or would you think that they were trying to do with Zach Wilson, where you, like, have him sit and wait behind somebody for a year, or would you...
Yeah, I don't think the Vikings would be interested in Pickett. I think they just want the picks.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd like to see him in Steelers. I would say I'd like to see him with the Patriots, but I just don't know if they deserve him. Like, Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback.
Also, what a situation to fall in if you're Caleb Williams, and if they tank correctly.
Yeah.
You fall into Justin Jefferson,
Yeah.
Jordan Addison, his former teammate, and T.J. Hawkinson.
Yeah, Addison is a former teammate.
So, like, if you're going to tank and get Caleb Williams, there's been rumors that he won't go to certain teams. You should want to go to Minnesota. They have everything you'd want as a quarterback. And they're offensively driven head coach.
He's done some online flirting with Denver. You seen that?
Yeah. I'm not. I
don't get too excited, but
yeah, because I'm not getting. They broke my heart too many times. It's like going back to the girl who's toxic as hell.
Yeah.
You're like, this time she's different. No. But anyways, the Vikings here are a great spot for Caleb Williams. Like the best spot I could think of in this bottom tier.
If they decide to move on. I mean, so let's see where they are right now. They're 1-4.
Yeah.
Jefferson's going to be out for 4 weeks.
Maybe more.
Probably more. I'd say. You have Addison's probably about to blow up.
Yeah.
But that's not going to be enough to win. If Jefferson isn't enough, Addison's not going to be enough, as good as he is.
And Jefferson's put up ridiculous numbers and helping them out on every third down.
Right. Because the problem is not, can this team move the ball?
No. Can they stop anybody?
Yeah. Kirk Cousins is forced to be perfect every game.
And he nearly is.
And a lot of times, I mean, he might be still the leader in yards, and he's been that for the last 5 years. Like, he's always a good quarterback. They just can't get enough around him to where it's not all on him putting up 35 points every single game.
Which is unfair.
Which is just not going to work. And I don't know. I think it makes too much sense. I think that's why everyone's on this.
Yeah.
Because it just makes too much sense that Kirk Cousins on this 1-year deal most likely was headed out anyway. It's just move him and get something for him.
The Falcons would be a nice spot for him.
Falcons would be a great spot.
They have London, they have Pitts.
They would be a contender with him.
London, Pitts, that backfield.
That defense.
And a very good offensive line.
Yeah.
I think, and then they do that run first, so the pressure would be off them to just dominate throwing-wise. They could run the ball more effectively than they ever have. And
Tennessee would be an interesting place, too.
Yeah.
Tennessee you got D-Hop there. You got
Tennessee,
Burks.
and they need to stop with this Tannehill stuff. He's not the guy.
I just think they don't have anyone else that's with that. They have Malik Willis and Will Levis. I don't even think he's been active for a game yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. Kirk Cousins moving is good for what we do.
Yeah.
Is good for just NFL chatter.
Yeah.
Sucks for the Vikings to see them here.
Yeah. I mean,
they've lost all their games by a touchdown or less.
It looks like they're realizing what they are, and the faster you do that, the better you'll be.
Yeah. That's the news. We're gonna take a quick break, and then we'll get into Angels' Heavenly Top 10.
Oh yeah.
Right back. Okay, we are back with Angels' Heavenly Top 10. Very excited about version 6.0. A couple notes before we get into that. Elijah Vera Tucker has been placed in IR. We kind of knew that. And the Niners signed cornerback Jason Verrett.
Okay.
So, I'm sorry, not the Niners. The Texans.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, reunites with D'Amico Ryans.
Nice.
Okay, so Angels Heavenly Top 10, version 6.0. I've seen it, so I don't want to feel like I haven't, but this is about what I expected. I think this is pretty much chalk this week. But some moves.
Yeah, some move for
So
sure.
let's get into it.
Okay. Welcome back to Angels Heavenly Top 10. Here we go. At number 10, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Big win against the Bills. So we still haven't seen elite Trevor Lawrence yet, but this win is a sign of improvement for this team. Love them here at number 10. At number 9, the Baltimore Ravens. This team has a problem with playing against opponents that aren't as good as them. They played to their level, so they lost to Richardson, to the Colts without Richardson, and to an injury-plagued Pittsburgh team. They have a problem closing games, but they're still talented enough to be in this top 10 at number 9. And at number 8, the Seattle Seahawks. Bye-week movers just because the Ravens lost in such a disappointing way. Still love this team. Have a good matchup this week against the now hot Cincinnati Bengals. So looking forward to that. At number 7, the Dallas Cowboys. Just because that's one of the worst losses I've seen from an elite team in a while. A lot of they look so bad and they have so much to fix, but they're so talented on paper. So you got to put them in the top 10 somewhere.
Yeah.
They fit right here at number 7. Number 6, the Buffalo Bills. The ups and downs are now the most consistent part about this team. They're hard to trust but fun to watch. They just gotta settle out and stop being so emotional every game. I don't know. At number 6, the Buffalo Bills. At number 5, the Detroit Lions. They've turned into the most consistent and dominant team. One of the most consistent and dominant teams. Not even fully healthy yet. This team only arrows are pointing up. The only reason why they're at number 5 is because these top 4 are so freaking good.
Yeah.
At number 4 is the Miami Dolphins. First in points per game, first in yards per game, first in TDs per game. They're going to test the theory of defense wins championships because they're just going to try to outscore everybody.
Truly.
At number 3, the Philadelphia Eagles. They're dominating teams with their O-line and D-line. The ability that they have to control the line of scrimmage on both sides is elite. The A.J. Brown-Hurts connection is fully underway. And you can even say that they're not even fully going yet on offense, and they're still putting up great numbers.
Yeah.
So I love this team. And at number 2, the Kansas City Chiefs. They win their games, but they're not convincing as the number 1 team. And these Kelsey injuries are starting to add up and starting to worry me. Now it's 2 injuries now within 5 weeks, and he's older. So at number 2, we have the Chiefs. And at number 1, the San Francisco 49ers dominated the Cowboys, a legit team. Probably the most well-rounded team I've seen this year. I don't know where the weakness is yet, but we'll find them when they play the Eagles week 6 or 7, whatever it is. Love this team. Have the MVP of the league at running back. Purdy is playing lights out. Defense obviously flying around, making plays. And yeah, they're my number 1 team in the NFL, and that is my 6.0 version of Angels Top 10.
So Angels Heavenly Top 10, brought to you by no one.
Brought to you by nobody.
We have a new number 1. 49ers slide up into number 1. I want you to tell me real quick, talking about the Niners, where you see their first loss coming. Okay?
Okay.
Week 6, Browns.
Without Watson or with Watson, that's a win.
Okay. Vikings.
Oh, it's a win.
They have a week 9 bye, so they'll get some rest
Okay.
from all their winning.
Because they need it.
Week 10, Jacksonville Jaguars at Jacksonville.
I don't know why that struck me as they might lose that one.
They'll be favored. I mean, they'll be
Yeah,
favored.
but most likely a win. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a possible test.
Yeah.
Buccaneers.
No.
They're going to beat them.
Yeah.
I think their first real test, and I think this is if they can beat the Jags, and they reach week 12, 11-0, and if they win these 3 games, I think we need to start talking about, is this an undefeated team? And I know it's early, but it's not too early.
No, I mean,
5-0. Okay?
watch them play a game. You're like, this team might.
If they can beat week 10, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they go into week 12, the Seattle Seahawks,
That's a tough one.
11-0.
Yeah.
The next 3 are Seahawks, Eagles, Seahawks.
That's where they might lose one.
So if they can get through that 3-game stretch, and that's a tough one.
Tough one.
Because Seahawks twice, the first time away at the 12.
Seahawks always play them well.
Yeah, at the 12. And the Seahawks want them.
Yeah,
They want them.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Of course, that Eagles game is going to be electric because of what happened last year in the playoffs. But after that 3-game stretch, Cardinals, Ravens, Commanders, Rams, that's it. If they can beat those 4 teams,
Yeah. Yeah, this team is...
Look out.
Now, I'm knocking on wood twice here. Their thing has been injuries. And right now, they have...
Why would you
No,
do
no.
that?
No, I'm saying, like, right now, if this team stays healthy...
That's so wrong.
No, I'm not saying... I'm saying, like...
You're saying you think they're all going to get injured.
No, I hope they don't. This seems so...
You're saying that you hope that their quarterback gets injured.
No. Also, okay, look. The fatigue of... Tell me about Mr. Irrelevant, Brock Purdy. It's it's reaching high levels here.
Yeah?
I don't know why.
Let him have his moment. What's wrong with
He
you?
is every time he plays. Who's Mr. Irrelevant? Okay. I'm
It's an
sure.
amazing story.
I'm sure he
How many
hates that.
times did we see the video or the video of Tom Brady with his shirt off at the combine?
But he's the GOAT.
I'm just saying, when someone does something like this, you're gonna hear.
But either way, this team's been healthy, and if it stays healthy, and this team is just so well rounded. They do everything well, and they're the best linebacker in football. They're the best running back in football, and they're just fantastic. They might go undefeated this season.
Yeah, so they jumped the Chiefs into your number one spot, and I think there's just no way you can keep it from that.
No.
They had to be number one this week. It's what they did to the Cowboys, which was just insane. I only have one problem.
It's
with your
Eagles.
list.
Eagles Chiefs.
No.
Oh, okay. Wow.
My issue I have with your list is that the Cowboys fell from 7 to 7. Did they move at all?
Yeah, I think it was good. From 6 to
From 6 to 7.
Yeah.
So they fell one spot after that loss. I'd put the Seahawks in front of them.
Okay.
Man, the Ravens are tough because I just don't believe in the Ravens either.
I think the Cowboys will bounce back, but I see
think
why
the
you're
Jags are
saying-
better than the Ravens too.
Okay.
But I think the Cowboys showed so much with that loss. Like, it was just such a whooping.
It was a thorough spanking.
Like, we saw the Dolphins lose to the Bills, but even that wasn't that bad.
Yeah. Because they scored and they looked.
Yeah, they scored. They looked fine, but the Bills were just on one that night. The Cowboys just got embarrassed.
So where would you put the Cowboys? I mean, I have them at 7 because I want them at number 7.
I would probably go after the Bills. I would go Seahawks, Jags, Cowboys, Ravens. So I'd move them down to 9.
Wow. Okay. Well, all these 3-2 teams, they all have their problems, but I think the Cowboys will have a better record at the end of the year and are a better team than the Seahawks. But I'm not going to fight you here. We all know what the Cowboys do every year. So
Lions at 5 is a world I never thought I'd live in, but I'm happy to be in.
yeah,
Lions deserve it. I mean, they keep beating whoever's in front of them. I forgot what their last 10 games was. They have some insane record the last 10 games. They're winning now.
yeah,
Like this rebuild is.
it's done. It's
This is how you do
Yeah.
it, Chicago.
Yeah.
You start eventually in a rebuild. You got to start winning, and the Lions have done it. And we all owe Coach Campbell an apology because we thought he was just
this meathead.
he came to Detroit, and we thought, okay, well, at least while they're losing, there'll be someone fun to watch. You know?
A good audio clip, good sound clip of the head coach every week.
But he has to be talked about now. One of the best coaches in the NFL.
Coach of the year right now for me.
This team, not too long ago, won 0 games.
Yeah.
That usually takes a very long time to recover from, and here they are, one of the best teams in the NFC. I mean, according to your list here, they're number 3 in the NFC.
Yeah.
Which is like the Lions.
Yeah.
They have a stranglehold on that NFC North division. The Packers don't look like
No,
they're there yet.
it's already theirs. Like I don't see
Yeah.
any of those teams competing
the
with them.
Bears may have dug a hole that's too deep, and the Vikings are, what's happening to the Vikings.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see what the ceiling for this Lions team is, because we're in this stage with them now where, okay, we know they're good. Now, how far can they actually go?
Yeah,
Because it's all untested waters now.
Yep.
It's all new.
In those playoffs, you're going to either meet the Eagles or the 49ers, who are 2 legit teams. So, you can beat bad teams all you want, and they've beaten good teams too. But when you get to the playoffs, where it's the dog days of the playoffs, where it's the 49ers in Santa Clara or in Philadelphia, you can't hide anything now. So this is where we see, okay, are you for real, or are you just a really good story?
I think with them, it's gonna. I think they have a couple holes in their roster still that need to be filled.
I want
at corner, at pass rusher opposite Hutchinson. I think those might come up in the playoff series, but God, they're gonna be fun to watch for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
My only other note on your list here was the Jaguars. Now I have them as high as I would have them at 7. but you have them at 10, and that's fine. Jags win versus the Bills. I don't want to overlook that. That was so important to this team.
Yeah.
To be able to get a team that was that hot, with the elite quarterback, with the pedigree, with the expectation that the Bills have, to get them on that heater that they were on and dominate them. Lawrence played well. He didn't, have the game that we want him to have, 300 yards and 3 touchdowns, whatever. He was super elite on third down. I looked at the numbers a couple days ago, and he just lights out on third down.
Yeah.
Which is where you make your money. Third down in the red zone. As a quarterback, if you can do that, you'll be in this league a long time.
Yep.
They beat an elite team. They beat Allen. And these are the questions that we have about the Jags going into this year, and it's just really good to see that, okay, it is in them.
Yeah.
It's in them to go toe-to-toe with the Bills on a neutral field and look really good.
Yeah, they could only go up because they're so talented. You just got to put it together, but this AFC's tough, and if they could turn out to beat one, Bills are a very good team. So like that's a great win for them.
Yeah, would you be that surprised a Jags Bills playoff game, like NFC or AFC Championship game?
Yeah, I mean that's so pumped at that. But I want to see Trevor Lawrence in that tier, but maybe it's not this year. Maybe we wait.
So what does he have to do to reach that tier for you?
Just start on a roll where he's the reason why they're winning, where he's just offensively just carried by Trevor Lawrence.
And that only looks like 300 yards, 4 touchdowns type games.
Yeah, right now he's very much closer to Brock Purdy than he is closer to Patrick Mahomes, where he just kind of manages the game. I want to know what you
mean by that.
Where he manages the game, doesn't dominate the game.
I hate that. So, you think Brock Purdy's managing games?
Okay, maybe not Purdy. Who's like one of those guys, but like not like Trevor Lawrence is doing this thing where he like does enough, but I want him to do more than enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, go 400 yards, go 300 yards. That's where the elite tier comes, where like Mahomes can have those games as bad, but sometimes he has those games like 400 yards at 4 touchdowns. So
I wonder who the Jags are playing this week. They're playing the tests keep coming. They're first in the AFC South, by the way, which we all predicted. They're going to play the Colts without Anthony Richardson.
They should win.
Saints, Steelers. Steelers. Next 3 games they should win. Yeah. Colts, Saints, Steelers. And then we see them with the Niners. Now that's the big one. That'll be a good test for them.
Yeah.
That is Angels Heavenly Top 10 version 6.0. I like it. New number 1. The Browns, Chargers. What other teams are just outside looking in?
Oh man, Brown Chargers are the main ones.
Another team I'm missing. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's Angels Heavenly Top 10. Let's get into a little Thursday night preview. All right, on Thursday night, the Denver Broncos will be offered as a sacrifice,
as the baby lamb,
the spotless baby lamb, fresh off one of the most anticlimactic revenge games we've ever seen. The Hackett versus Peyton. What we all thought it would be preseason.
The Hackett Bowl. That's what they're calling it.
Yeah. It just wasn't what we hoped it'd be. I think, no Rodgers and stuff like that.
You could literally describe the Broncos last 2 years as wasn't what we've hoped they'd be.
Yeah. The Chiefs are 10.5 point favorites over the Broncos. And this just seems like the Chiefs just keep getting these teams. They got the Vikings last week. They're getting these teams that the last thing they need is to see the Chiefs roll into town. And here they are.
You can't blame them for their schedule, but they're going to get another win tomorrow. They're going to keep on winning. They're going to be 5-1 after this game.
This game's in Kansas City.
Yeah, God.
It's going to be a bloodbath.
Well, the Thursday night games are going to be, this one's going to be boring. Just because you're going to see Russell Wilson be hot for like a quarter. Then you're going to see a bunch of nonsense on the Broncos side. And then on the Chiefs side, you're going to see just play call and they're going to do some disrespectful play calls in the red zone. Just embarrass them. Because Andy Reid is not afraid of embarrassing the Broncos.
This is the week of playoffs where the backup tight end, the starting left tackle, is begging Andy Reid, let me throw a pass.
Yeah, this is where
let me get an end around.
Who's the most random guy on their team? This is where McKinnon throws a touchdown.
Yeah.
Or Tony throws a touchdown or whatever. It's going to be bad.
They're gonna play with them for sure. But let's talk about this game. A couple things I need to see from Denver is we've been pounding the table to feature Jerry Jeudy, and they just don't really center their offense on him. It's centered on Sean Payton.
I don't know what it's centered on, to be honest.
But maybe the most frustrating thing to me so far with this is just the outright refusal to give Marvin Mims snaps.
Yeah, he's very much, I'm going to be a star. Like, I'm going to decide who's on the field because I'm Sean Payton.
I don't understand why this kid is not on the field more often. Every time you see him, his yards per catch rate has to be just...
It's first in the league.
Yeah, just through the roof. Yeah, he's been incredible every time he's been on the field. He's just playing less than like 25% of the snaps.
Yeah, I think
he's barely playing.
My theory is that they're going to trade Sutton or Jeudy. So he'll have his chance for sure. I think his chance will come. Because I think they will trade, no matter what Sean Payton or George Payton say about them not trading. They're going to trade one of these guys. He'll get his chance. But yeah, he's a phenomenal rookie, but they're not giving him any time to shine because they're strolling out Courtland Sutton, who can't really do much, and Jeudy, who they just refuse, who they just hate. But Jeudy has some maturity stuff. He's still an immature.
You see Jeudy and Schlereth going at it?
Yeah,
on Twitter.
Yeah,
Mark Schlereth is one of my least liked people in sports media.
Football is football. You hit him in the face. I don't care what the. Shut up, Mark.
I'm gonna butcher this. I'm never gonna remember. I think, basically what happened is Jeudy called out the quote unquote old heads in the league for being critical of younger players. And then Schlereth said, does old heads mean I have more playoff appearances than you have whatever? Yeah. Some old head thing to say.
Yeah.
And so that's what's going on in Denver right now.
This is how
you have the legend Mark Schlereth. Is he a legend? Or
he's played with John Elway.
He's just well known.
He just played with John Elway. That's his big thing.
Yeah, I don't...
And that he also peed his pants every game because that's why they call him Stink.
Yeah, I don't know if Mark Schlereth is the guy to be dropping like seniority type statements on younger players.
And this is also how you draw out talent from a bad team.
Yeah.
Call them out every single game.
Yeah. But yeah, it's obviously ugly in Denver right now. But I think there's some bright spots here. The rookie running back Jaleel McLaughlin.
Yeah.
He's been the running back version of Marvin Mims.
Yeah.
His yards per carry are insane.
I think what they're trying to do now, because they've completely wrote out P. Ryan.
Yeah.
Trying to do now is look for next year, like, can we pair Javonte Williams with this McLaughlin?
So far, the answer is yes.
Because this pairing, if they go off, is a very good one, too.
He looks really good. Javonte's still coming back from the injury, but I think he's looked fine.
Yeah.
He's not getting the workload, and he shouldn't this early, especially on a team that's losing this much. Why?
Yeah, that's why probably they held him out Sunday, because they're like,
right,
they're losing anyway.
So those two, coupled with hopefully more Mims, some Jeudy if that's in the future for them, I think Sutton gets moved here in the next couple of weeks.
And this defense is literally historically bad.
And then possibly the return of Greg Dulcich. He's been practicing.
Greg D.
Let's see if he comes back. I'd like to see him in this. I mean, tight ends have thrived in Sean Payton's offense.
And watching this offense, I know they feature tight ends. They're on the field a lot.
Troutman gets a lot of looks,
but he's not good.
He's just not very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get Dulcich, was very good as a rookie.
Yeah.
And he can create separation. And yeah, for a team that needs help like this, he's a welcomed add. Other side of the ball, I don't think Kelsey should play this game. I don't like all these injuries so close together. They're going to win this game either way, with or without him. I would sit Kelsey this game.
Yeah, he doesn't need to be playing whether or not Taylor Swift's in the box with his mom. He needs to sit this game.
I think the years of him kind of catching up to him this year.
Yeah.
Within 5 games, been hurt twice, 2 different injuries. Not the same one. Knee and ankle.
I also don't want to be like the guy of like, oh, he's doing too much. He's not focused on football. Because I don't think that's the truth. No. But he's doing a lot.
Yeah.
Like he's in every freaking commercial.
Yep. Mr. Pfizer.
Right. That whole thing with Aaron Rodgers and whatever. But he has his podcast, which is, doing really well.
Yeah.
He has this whole Taylor Swift thing, and now he's also the tight end of the defending champs.
Yeah.
So he's just so much going on. I just feel like give this guy a little break.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's managing his schedule fine. I'm not calling out like, oh, he's doing too much and it's affecting him on the field. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying just you don't need to run. When you're driving the car and you're ramping it up to where the freaking RPMs are on red. You don't need to be running Kelsey like that,
especially this early
in week 6
against the
season.
Broncos.
Against the Broncos.
Yeah.
Like, you're favored by 10.5 points. If he leaves, maybe you're favored by 8.5. But you're still a heavy
Probably not.
favorite.
Probably still favored by 10.5 if he leaves.
Yeah, I'd sit him too. And I mean, you can ride Tony and
Pause.
And
you know who's going to do well is Pacheco, who's been turned into one of the most underrated backs in the league.
undrafted or 7th round.
Undrafted.
I think he's undrafted.
Yeah. He runs like he's mad at somebody.
He's looked good, and they've been comfortable handing him more and more of the offense. And really, that's been the case since he kind of broke into the scene last season, about halfway through.
Yeah.
They just given him more and more and more, and he seems to do well. He seems to be smart enough to function in every aspect of this offense.
Yeah, he catches the ball.
Yeah, he catches the ball. He blocks.
Yep.
Like, he will pick up a blitzing linebacker.
Yep.
With his face.
Yep.
And you gotta love that as a coach and as a quarterback, especially when your quarterback's Patrick Mahomes. So yeah, he's exciting to see. They've used McKinnon, and I haven't seen CH in a couple weeks now. But yeah, with that weapon and those array of wide receivers they have is enough to get by the Broncos.
Yeah, they'll be fine. I think this. You want to predict the final score?
Oh God.
Because we both are picking the Chiefs here to win.
Yeah, we're both picking the Chiefs, and I think the Chiefs are gonna hang.
They're hanging 40 on them.
Yeah, I want to stay in 30s, but I'm gonna stay in the 30s. I'm gonna say 36 to 13.
I'll say like 40 to 14.
Okay, 36-13.
Early touchdown and a
40
late
to 14.
garbage time touchdown. The Broncos are gonna
$10 on whoever's the closest.
sure.
Yep.
Wait. What was your score?
36-13.
Oh,
So
40 to 14.
So I have a 20. I'm so bad at math. 23 point differential.
Yeah. Either way, the over under is 50. So
Yeah, most of that will be the Chiefs.
yeah, and I pick over because the Chiefs are gonna score whatever they want to do. But yeah, the Thursday night games. This one's a dud. Some have been good, some haven't. Last week was actually surprisingly good. It was the Bears and Commanders, but this one will be bad.
Yeah, another bright spot, real quick before we move on from this game. Nick Bonito,
Yeah,
5.5 sacks. That's obviously leading the Broncos, 6th in the NFL.
he's the reason why they traded Gregory.
Yeah,
But you don't know that because they keep losing.
good to see.
But he's the reason why. There's some upside of those linebackers, but I won't get too deep into that. But they have some depth and youth at linebacker spot they want to see, and they've been performing well. But you can only be so positive about a team that's this bad.
Yes, Bronco fans, Denver. It's going to be a rough one to watch as far as the score. But look for your young guys to show something.
This is what you do when you're in a bad situation. Look for the good. There's some young guys. You have Dolson. Maybe Dolson's comes back. You have 2 nice running backs. Just look for positive.
Yep.
On the Chiefs side,
Stay healthy.
stay healthy and sit back and enjoy. It's gonna be a fun one for Chiefs fans.
That is the show for today. Wednesday's show. Very excited
Yep.
about Friday coming up. Honestly, I'm going to enjoy this game no matter what. But Friday, very excited for that, and excited to jump into week 6 of the NFL season. My Eagles got the Jets. That should be pretty fun.
Yeah.
You looked up something furiously there. What do you got?
Just, I want to do the National Day. Today is the National Curves Day. Shout out to all those
I
people.
feel like you were ready for that one.
I was not, but I'll tell all those people who are curvy.
Yeah.
We are pro-curve show.
It is your day.
Yeah. And it's also National Take Your Parents to Lunch Day.
Oh, that'd
So,
be nice.
Yeah. I mean, I won't do that, but yeah.
No. I won't be home in time.
I love you, Mom and Dad.
That's it?
We love you.
That's all you got?
That's it. I just want to make sure. I don't know why I want to do that so bad.
You got those 2 days
I
in?
was like, I'll do it really quick.
There's only 2 of them? Usually
No,
there's
there's a ton of them. I mean, like today, there's always a shitload of these things. Now, as I say that, it's International Day of the Girl Child. I don't know what that means.
girl child.
I don't know what that means.
Okay.
There's a lot of funny ones. National Sausage Pizza Day, National Coming Out Day, National Kimberly Day. Shout out to everyone named Kimberly.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but the Curves Day is probably the most one we want to.
Yeah. October 11th. At least for me, Christmas music is in full swing.
You're ridiculous.
We're getting home today. we're leaving San Diego. Beautiful San Diego. It's been sprinkling half the time. And some Christmas decorations are going up.
Crazy.
But Halloween's coming up. We got some special plans for Halloween costume-wise.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, that's the show. You have a good time?
Yeah. Yep. These dogs are having
Sorry with the dogs, but we'll see you Friday.
Yep. We'll see you Friday.
Bye.